Love X Revenge. This is a fictional story created for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. On his birthday, the city glittered the way it always did for men like Alexander Royce. Glass towers reflected the sunset like mirrors polished just for him, and his name alone could open doors that most people didn't even know existed. He had built an empire from risk, instinct, and an almost cruel discipline. Magazines called him untouchable, rivals called him ruthless, employees called him Sir. Friends, if he still had any, called him lucky. Yet on this particular evening, standing in a perfectly tailored suit outside one of the most exclusive restaurants in the city, Alexander Royce was told a single word he hadn't heard in decades. No, the hostess didn't recognize him. Or maybe she did and simply didn't care. Her smile was fixed, professional, unmoved by the quiet authority in his voice when he said his name. "I'm sorry, sir. We're fully booked tonight." Alexander glanced inside. He could see at least 3 empty tables. Candles unlit, glasses untouched. "It's my birthday," he said, not as a plea, but as a fact. Birthdays, after all, had always been to his will. "I understand," the hostess replied, already turning her attention to the next guest. "But without a reservation, there's nothing I can do." For the first time in years, Alexander felt something sharp and unfamiliar twist in his chest. Not anger, not humiliation, something quieter, lonelier. He stepped aside, pulling out his phone, prepared to make one call and shut the place down for the night if he wanted. But his finger hovered over the screen. He didn't call. Instead, he watched. That's when he noticed her. She stood a few feet away, shifting her weight as she balanced a tired toddler on her hip. Her coat was worn, her hair pulled into a messy bun that suggested she'd stopped caring what strangers thought sometime earlier that day. The child's small fingers clutched a crumpled balloon, half deflated, the word happy barely visible. The hostess sighed when she saw them. "I told you already," she said curtly. "This isn't a place for children." The woman's shoulders stiffened. "I know," she said softly. "I'm not asking to eat here. I just need to sit for 5 minutes. My son's exhausted. We were supposed to meet someone. No exceptions." Alexander should have walked away. This wasn't his problem. He had a driver waiting, another restaurant on speed dial, a penthouse filled with silence and expensive whiskey. But something about the way the woman nodded, biting her lip to keep her composure, stopped him. "Give them my table," he said. The hostess blinked. "Sir, my table," Alexander repeated calmly. "If there's truly no space for me, there's space for them." The woman turned, startled. Their eyes met. Hers were dark, wary, and tired, but grateful in a way that felt raw, unfiltered. "That's not necessary," she said quickly. "It is," Alexander replied. "It's my birthday. I get to choose how I spend it." The hostess hesitated, then gestured them inside, clearly eager to avoid a scene. The woman murmured a thank you as she passed him, her son already drifting toward sleep against her shoulder. Alexander remained outside. He didn't know why he stayed. 5 minutes later, the manager emerged, pale and apologetic, suddenly very aware of who he was speaking to. "Mr. Royce, we would be honored to." "No," Alexander said gently. "You're fully booked." He walked away before the manager could respond. Later that night, curiosity got the better of him. He returned. The restaurant was quieter now. The dinner rush had passed. Through the window, he saw the woman sitting alone at the table he'd given up. Her son slept sprawled across 2 chairs. Crumbs on his jacket. She wasn't eating, just staring at her phone, her expression tight. Alexander stepped inside. She noticed him immediately and stood, flustered. "Oh, I didn't expect. Thank you again. They let us stay longer than I thought." "Who were you meeting?" he asked. She hesitated. "No one, apparently." He waited. She exhaled. "His father," she admitted, nodding toward her son. "Or, the man who was supposed to be. He said he wanted to see him. First time in 2 years." Her laugh was hollow. "Guess birthdays are inconvenient." Alexander felt the irony settle heavily between them. "Sit," he said. "Please." They talked. Slowly at first. Then more easily. Her name was Emily. She worked 2 jobs. She used to paint. She stopped when life got expensive. She didn't know who he was, and when he told her, she shrugged. That explains the suit, she said. But you didn't act like what I expected. What did you expect? Someone who would have made the call, she replied honestly. Alexander smiled for the first time that day. Over the weeks that followed, they met again. And again, sometimes for coffee, sometimes at the park, sometimes just sitting in silence while her son, Noah, played at their feet. For the first time, Alexander was seen not as a billionaire, but as a man. And for the first time, he realized how much of himself he had traded away for success. Emily never asked for anything. Not money, not favors, not rescue. That, more than anything, changed everything. When the restaurant went viral months later for denying service to a struggling single mother, Alexander didn't buy it. He didn't destroy it. He did something worse. He invested in the woman they'd turned away. Emily's small art business, reborn with hesitant hope, flourished under quiet backing and genuine belief. She never knew the full extent of what he did behind the scenes. She only knew that someone had believed in her before she believed in herself. On his next birthday, Alexander didn't book a table. He sat at a small kitchen table instead, Noah on his lap, Emily laughing as the cake leaned dangerously to one side. He had everything once, but it wasn't until a single mother changed everything that he finally had enough.